the recession-proof sweet spot in the great Indian car bazaar. Entry hatchbacks. The citadel of the market leader Maruti Suzuki, the Alto 800 and K10, WagonR, Celerio. So how do you take on the might of Maruti Suzuki? Hyundai tried with the Eon and didn't quite succeed. Datsun attempted it in earnest with the Go, but well, couldn't really make a go of it. And Chevy tried with the Spark, and now Renault is bringing in its Kwid. The Kwid concept was shown at the Delhi Auto Expo in 2014, and we also drove it. At the time, everyone figured Renault was going for the subcompact SUV. But it was instead a crossover-styled hatch, a car that draws inspiration from Renault's one big hit in India, the Duster. The Kwid looks every bit the baby Duster, complete with cladding and muscular haunches and also high ride height. Carlos Ghosn unveiled the car in May and promised that it would be priced under 4 lakh rupees. The Kwid is based on the all-new CMFA platform on which Renault and Nissan will build a slew of new compact cars globally. The Kwid is the first of many then. The Kwid comes after a long and hard journey which saw Renault talking ultra-low-cost car, toying with alliances with Bajaj and Ashok Leyland, and learning from the development and relaunch of Datsun products.
So here's a quick look at the brand new Renault Kwid. Now, if you see from the front, they've taken a lot of design cues from the Renault Duster compact SUV. It's got a big, broad front grille and a really imposing face. Around back as well, there's a lot of plastic cladding to give it that elevated look, to make it appear like an SUV. The best bit, of course, is on the inside, where you have 300 liters of luggage space, which is a lot for a small car.
The Kwid certainly makes an impact. The SUV-like stance gives it presence, though the wheels look a tad small for those big arches. It certainly looks bigger, wider and taller than its rivals though. And it is. The Kwid's overall length, width and wheelbase is best in class. Renault has gone after the only thing entry hatches don't always have, space, and it's done it well. Renault has a few tricks up its sleeve on the inside as well. The digital instrument cluster is very clear and straightforward. It doesn't have a tachometer though, but a gear shift indicator instead. The shift indicator could have been a little larger though. But again, the digital instrument cluster is anyway a point of differentiation from the competition. What dominates the interior in the top-end variant is this, the 7-inch touchscreen that sits proudly in the central console. Now this infotainment system is a lift from the Duster and the Logi and offers Bluetooth connectivity and navigation as well. Another segment first. You don't get a reverse camera or sensors though. Overall levels of quality and cabin design are very impressive. There is a lot of plastic that's been thrown around, but the quality is equal to what you've seen on the Logi or even the Duster. But sometimes, too much plastic, however good the quality, can be an eyesore, like in the case of the door panels.
So you've also got a bunch of cubby holes and glove boxes. So there's a glove box up here, one down here, and a bunch of storage spaces in the cabin. But there are a couple of areas in which you sense that they have done a little bit of cost cutting. So you've got the window controls in the center console. You don't have controls for the side view mirrors in the cabin. And on the outside, you notice a couple of things, like you've only got one windshield wiper and only 3 wheel nuts on each wheel.
As you start up the engine, you do notice that the idle is a little lumpy. But that's to be expected from an 800cc 3-cylinder motor. On the go, however, refinement levels are very good. It does, after all, have 4 valves per cylinder, so it doesn't have any of the 3-cylinder thrum or vibration at speed. It tends to lose steam when climbing inclines though. That's when you feel that the 53 bhp isn't quite adequate. On level ground, on the other hand, the performance feels perfectly adequate for the city. High-speed stability is also good, but where the Kwid truly shines is in the ride and handling department. Now, Renault cars have always been known for their ride and handling prowess, and the Kwid carries forward that legacy with elan. On rough roads and even off-road, the Kwid is very comfortable and handles very well. The extra ride height means that you can take some liberties, and we even managed to get it on the beach to take some pretty pictures. So despite the ride height, handling and body control is pretty good. The claimed 25.17 km per litre fuel efficiency will give it the highest mileage of any petrol engine car in the country, but that also has a lot to do with its low weight.
So this car is based on a brand new architecture from Renault, and the way they've been able to build it to a price is one, because it has 98% localization. In fact, 80% of the work done on this car is done by Indian engineers. So there's a lot of Indian content in this machine, and it's actually pretty sprightly going down the road. And the main reason for that is that it weighs only 660 kilos. So it's incredibly light. Now, they say they've done that by basically engineering every single nut and bolt in this machine anew. So it's been engineered completely from scratch, from the ground up, and they've engineered it to be as light as possible.
The 5-speed manual gearbox is nice and responsive, but downshifts aren't as smooth as we expected, especially while driving it on the highway. Also, if you're looking to compare specs with Maruti Suzuki's stable, both the Celerio and the Ultra K10 have the option of an AMT gearbox. Renault hasn't shared any plans on getting an AMT variant on the Kwid. What about safety then, you ask? Well, the standard answer is that it meets all safety requirements in the country for now, and that's pretty much a negligible requirement. But this is a car that's been designed for the world market, so it's been engineered from the start to meet all safety regulations in markets such as Brazil and even Europe. That will of course mean adding some weight back into the vehicle, but the basic structure will stay the same. In India, only the top-end variant has a single driver side airbag, no dual airbags at all, and no ABS. But then the rivals don't do much better on safety gear. On the whole though, what Renault has been able to do with the Kwid is provide an aspirational vehicle to the small car space, and not to forget, it's offering 60 categories of accessories, 6 predefined accessory packages, a whole lot of decals as well that you can style and customize your car with, and you can choose one of 5 body colors. Renault is now up to 205 dealerships in India. That's no match for Maruti's network, but it's still a good reach now, including in rural and semi-urban areas where Renault sees big potential for the Kwid.